using your personal credit cards to fund your business. Today, I am going to break down how that strategy is hurting you, costing you thousands in interest, and limiting your funding power. But more importantly, how to fix it. So listen up, okay? So before we get into anything though, I want to break down what a personal credit profile is, a perfect personal credit profile, and understand what lenders are actually looking for and looking into when they're looking to fund your business, all right? There are 5 data points that's on your personal credit profile. First and foremost, your personal credit is always considered if you do not have any business credit. If you follow me, you understand that. And as you come in, give me some hearts so we can share this live out. And if you have any questions at all, I am more than happy to help, okay? So first and foremost, your payment history. I want to break it down into points. That's highly, highly important, okay? Everyone starts out with a 350 credit score, and you have the opportunity to gain an additional 500 points, which gets you to the maximum amount of 850 FICO score, all right? That's first and foremost, all right? Now, that 500 possible points you're able to gain is broken up into percentages. That's what that pie is all about. I know, right? No one really told you that, right? People thought, I don't know what you thought, but until I was in this industry, that's when it just really, it was like an awakening, okay? All you need to do is take the percentages of that pie, which is breaking up the possible 500 points, and convert that percentage into points so that it makes sense to you. For instance, any late payments or derogatories that you may have on your account is 35% of the 500 possible points you can gain. So all you need to do, simple math, 0.35 times 500 points, you're able to gain or lose 175 points. This is why one late payment can cost you 100 points. Huh? I hope that was an aha moment. You know what I mean? Okay. The second data point is high credit card utilization, which I'm going to get into today, okay? And how you can fix that. High credit card utilization makes up 30% of the 500 possible points. So you're with high credit card utilization, you're able to gain or lose 150 points. This is why when one credit card spikes, your credit score will drop 50 points. That's a huge chunk of the algorithm of a perfect personal credit profile. Now, credit age, how old are the average age of the accounts that's on your account? That makes up 15%. So what is that? 75 points. Inquiries makes up 10%. So that's a possible 50 points. Removing all the inquiries, you can gain 50 points. I hope this makes sense, okay? So payment history 30, just a quick recap of what banks are looking for when they're looking into funding you, all right? The 5 data points is what matters. It's not the score itself, but it's the 5 data points. And if you can understand and work on these 3 things, you can arrive to a perfect personal credit profile. Payment history, 35%. Are you paying your bills on time? Credit utilization, 30%, 150 points. How much of your credit are you using? How much credit that has been extended to you are you using? If you're using anything over 30% of that, it is harming your credit profile. All right, the length of credit, which is your credit age, 15%, 75 points. How long have you had a credit history profile? Any new credit inquiries, 10%, 50 points. Gain or lose, okay? Recent accounts credit that you've been applying for or 2, and it remains on your credit report for 24 months. Your credit card makes up 10%, which is 50 points. Do you have credit cards and loans from a bank? Okay, now here's the problem. Most entrepreneurs are unknowingly damaging their personal credit profile. Most important category after all is your high credit card utilization. That's 30%, and then late payments, 35%. So if you have some late payments and high credit card utilization, you're out of the game. That's 65% negative impact on your credit profile. I hope this is making sense. Now you're down to up to 225 points, right? Crazy. All right. Now, here's the real issue when entrepreneurs are using their personal credit for business, right? Entrepreneurs, we're resourceful, okay? So when we need the money, we swipe it. Why? If anyone, to be an entrepreneur and be 100% entrepreneur, you have to have what is known as self-belief. And we do. So we believe that thing is gonna go right. We believe that deal is gonna go through. And this is where we get into trouble, right? But here's what happens when you do that. High credit card utilization trap. You start using your credit card for inventory, marketing, and payroll, right? Your balances spike up. Your utilization spikes 50, 70, 80, 90%. I'm running into entrepreneurs that's maxing that thing out. 99%. What is that? That's a loss of 150 points. All right? Your credit profile is now at the point where it's deadlocked. Banks do not lend money when it appears you need it. That's why the two harmful things you can have on your personal credit profile results in the harshest impact. Late payments, derogatories, high credit card utilization, okay? Why does this hurt you? It lowers your credit score, it reduces approval odds, and it lowers your limits. I learned that the hard way. See, personal credit cards are used for personal use. It is not designed, it's used for emergency use. It's not designed for you to carry a balance month after month after month. When they see that credit card utilization spike up over that 30%, you're now targeted. It's an alert going on, okay? Banks, that's all they do is assess risk. I want each and every last one of you coming up under the sound of my voice, take a look at your credit report and go all the way down to the bottom where it says soft credit checks. Your lenders are constantly checking and doing soft credit pulls on your credit report, unbeknownst to you. Them doing so, they can tell when your usage change. That usage spikes up because you're an entrepreneur and you decided, hey, I have $20,000 on this Chase card. So I need to do this thing and I'm going to go ahead and swipe 10K or 15K and you leave it there for a while, they will lower that credit limit. That's exactly what happened to me, all right? And they do this to protect themselves because now it's an alert. Credit cards are used for gas, groceries, emergencies. It's not designed for you to go buy inventory, marketing, and pay employees. So this is why I'm here, is to help you get funded, okay? So you're working hard in your business, but your credit profile is getting weaker and weaker every month, right? Now, let's talk about what really is draining your money when you find yourself in this situation and why it's just a wrap at this point. But Akila is going to talk about the problem, but I'm also more importantly going to tell you how to get out of it, okay? So stay tuned, okay? And if you're someone that has high credit card utilization, but everything else in your credit profile is looking pretty healthy, right? We can get you out of that jam. I can convert that over to the business side with a strategy. All you need to do is just text the word READY to 404-448-2040. All right, let's hop on a quick strategy call with my team. Let's see how much you qualify for. Now, I'm about to get into just leaving that debt and how it's hurting you, okay, on credit cards. So first and foremost, here's an example, okay? Let's say you have a balance of $20,000. The interest rate is 29%. Your minimum payment is $600, right? Most people think I'm good, I'm making a payment. But here's the truth. Majority goes to insurance. The balance barely moves and you just stay in debt when you're paying that minimum balance 4 years on a 29% interest, which is just compounding and compounding. Now, let's compare that to an installment loan. An installment loan is a loan from a bank, which has a set interest rate and set fixed rates over a period of time. So you lower your interest rate because you have a lower fixed interest rate, right? Oftentimes significantly more or less than 29%. I don't care if it's 20%. You're stretching that thing out over a period of time, and it's not compounding every month. See, that's the huge difference. So you'll have fixed monthly payments, you'll have a clear payoff time, and you improve your credit mix, all right? Then more importantly, you free up your personal credit profile so we can now go and get some business funding. I hope this helps. And most importantly, your utilization drops. When you move the balance of your credit cards, your utilization drops and your score can increase instantly. This is where you see an improvement of 100 or 150 points ASAP, all right? Now, here's the strategy shift, okay? So instead of using revolving credit cards for your business, you shift the structured debt to installment loans. And then we go over and get the business funding that your business deserves. It's just as simple as that. So what does this do for you? It lowers interest, it lowers your utilization, potentially boost your score, not potentially, it will. All right, it will boost your score up to 150 points, saves money on interest, create a clear payoff date, positions you for more funding, this time business. Now, the data points that's on the business side, the only credit utilization, all of that does not matter. The only data point that matters on your business side is that you pay your bills on time. That's it. Okay, so if you're carrying a balance, they gave you 20,000 and you are carrying a balance over a period of time, they're okay with that. You're in business. They extended you to $20,000 because you need to use it in your business. So it's looked at and viewed differently, personal versus business credit and funding, okay? So this is how you clean up your personal credit profile while still running your business, okay? So this is exactly what I help owners with, okay? So I'll analyze your personal credit profile, identify what's hurting you, show you what you qualify for with a soft credit pull that's not going to impact you, right? And help restructure your debt the right way. Staying on the personal side, hoping that one day I pay these credit cards off is not a strategy. You will find yourself in a position where you're unable to sustain. And I've seen this over and over again. And I hate to see that happen. So if you're serious about fixing any credit utilization or fixing your credit or putting yourself in a better position to get funded, this way your business is building business credit, type and text me the word READY to 404-448-2040, right? I'll take a look at your credit profile, show you exactly what you qualify for and what steps you need to take to get and cross over to the funding side, all right? So here are a few questions that you can just simply ask yourself, right? Do I have high credit card utilization? Am I using 50, 60, 70% of my credit cards and I'm unable to pay that down within the next 60 to 90 days? I'm telling you, give me a call. Let's get funded, all right, on this beautiful day. Okay, look like we have a question. Okay, explaining how using personal credit for business can hurt your score. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing, guys. Because using your personal credit profile is just going to deadlock your personal credit and then get you in trouble over time. So let's flip that. I'm always happy to help. I hope this was information you could use. Message me, DM me. Be amazing, guys. Let's get funded.